Hey guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day, whether you're watching this in the morning, afternoon, evening, or night. But in today's video, I'm going to be speed cleaning all over, doing some extreme deep cleaning because, you know, that's kind of what I do around here to give you guys some real good motivation. I'm also going to be decluttering and organizing. I'm going to be decluttering and organizing under my sink and in the bathroom. So there's a lot in today's video, and I guarantee at the end of this video, you are going to feel good, you're going to feel motivated, and hopefully get something done. This video was done over 3 days, kind of broken up a little bit each day that I did some cleaning. Here on the first night, I got started after a long, busy weekend. We were pretty much cooped up inside because all it did was rain all weekend long. So we were inside, which means the house gets extra messy when we can't go outside with the kids. So this evening, I was just picking things up after dinner, wiping things down, cleaning the stove and the sink, and then on day 2 I was going to be deep cleaning the stairs with my Bissell carpet cleaner and attachment, cleaning the carpet in the upstairs hallway. I'm also going to be deep cleaning my fridge and putting the shelves in the bathtub. Yes, you heard me right. Give my fridge shelves a bath to give it an extra deep clean. That's a little hack if you are new to my channel, a little hack. So it saves me a lot of time and I don't have to do as much scrubbing. So this was one of those nights where Mike and I were dividing and conquering. I was getting everything cleaned up while he was giving the girls a bath and getting them ready for bed. And speaking of the kids, I'm going to be giving you a little story time throughout this video, kind of talk about our IVF journey, how we decided to go with 2 embryos, so how we ended up with twins. I know the whole IVF process can get pretty interesting, especially when you have the option to choose how many embryos you put in or even genders. So a lot of story time here, but I did also want to clean the high chairs or the high chair straps. I haven't done that in a while, so all I did was filled 2 bowls with really hot water, added a little bit of powdered Tide laundry detergent, and then I put the straps in the bowl, let them soak, and I didn't have to do any scrubbing. It's a pretty easy way to clean those gross straps. To clean my stovetop that was really gross from the spaghetti that we had made for dinner, I was using my Jaws kitchen degreaser. That stuff does such a good job. It pretty much got everything off. There were just 2 little spots that were burnt onto the stovetop. So I used a Scotch-Brite sponge that is made for the glass cooktop stove. I just wet it with water and it got those 2 burnt spots off. But the Jaws kitchen degreaser Actually, you're going to see me using it on the high chairs because there was so much spaghetti and it's greasy and oily, and it also did an amazing job over there. And what's even better is that it's non-toxic, so I feel safe using it on the high chairs for the girls. And I do want to mention that today's video is sponsored by Jaws, which is a dream, and I am so grateful and thankful to be partnering with them. So thank you, Jaws. These are products that I have used in literally every single video for well over a year, so thank you, Jaws. But stay tuned, because here in a minute, I'm going to be showing you that refrigerator cleaning hack that allows me to get my shelves sparkling clean without any scrubbing, decluttering and organizing, and deep cleaning of my stairs and upstairs hallway. So stay tuned for that and the story time. It gets pretty crazy. So there's a variety of reasons why I love Jaws products and why I have continued to use them every single day since I first started using them. Mainly, I love them because they are great products, but also because they are affordable. I repeat, super, super affordable and non-toxic, with the exception of the disinfectant. They are all non-toxic, but Jaws' mission is to eliminate single-use plastic bottles. So you saw me grab the bottle from, it's a multi-purpose spray, from under the sink. I had already used it all up, but I was going to reuse that bottle because I was out of the cleaner. So I just popped in a pod. So you just reuse the plastic bottles and just purchase pods. So there's less waste and it takes up less room to store since you just have to store the pods. This is their new multi-purpose spray, which I think is a true multi-purpose spray, meaning I can use it on multiple surfaces. You can see me using it on my countertops and it leaves my countertops streak-free. It has a light lavender scent. So their products all have scents to them, but they're very, very light, not overpowering at all. And I have a 25% off coupon code for you if you want to try Jaws cleaners out. You can get their ultimate cleaning kit, so all of this for $33 plus free shipping. So you can find that link in the code in the description.
Tell me how to be. Ain't nobody calling my phone up just to make sure I get home safe and sound. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I fall down and don't get up, nobody would care. Yeah, don't wanna be alone anymore, so I might as well sleep with the doors unlocked. Ooh, ooh, yeah, yeah. Ooh, ooh. I'll sleep with the doors unlocked. Ooh, ooh, yeah, yeah. Ooh, ooh. I might as well sleep with the doors unlocked. Never been in love, yeah.
All right, so this was day 2, and let's talk IVF, embryos, and all of that crazy stuff. But just really quickly, I was vacuuming the stairs with my Tinco Power Hero 11 vacuum. It's a cordless vacuum that comes apart to be used as a hand vacuum. I will have it linked in the description. But I was just vacuuming before using my Bissell Pro Heat carpet cleaner to clean the stairs because it has an attachment. And sorry about the bad lighting. As I move upstairs, it gets pretty dark up there, so the lighting is kind of off. But there was so much hair on these stairs. Wait till you see how much was in the vacuum when I was done. Okay, so I got a lot of questions about IVF, how we decided to do it. Did we need to use IVF for Avery? And the answer is no. So I have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and I didn't even know I had it until we were having trouble getting pregnant with Avery. We tried for over a year to get pregnant, couldn't get pregnant. I was put on Clomid, which is a fertility drug that helps you grow follicles and eggs and lets your body ovulate. So that ended up working. After 3 rounds, we were able to get pregnant with Avery. We actually got pregnant with twins, but miscarried one of the babies at 14 weeks. So fast forward, ready to try for number 2. And in the year and a half, that short year and a half between Avery and the twins, Mike developed a male infertility issue. So between the both of us at this time, I had an issue, he had an issue. I had tried Clomid again. I exhausted all of the cycles with Clomid. You can only do 6 cycles. And then I did Femara, which is another similar fertility. Well, I don't think it's a fertility drug, but it's used in the fertility world. And then we did an IUI, which is where I go into a fertility clinic and they inject me. That did not work. So at that point, the doctor said, all right, I think, and I also had a miscarriage. I had also gotten pregnant, had a miscarriage. So at this point, the doctor said with male infertility, female infertility, the miscarriages you've had, I think IVF is going to be your best bet since you're dealing with all of this. So, I can get more into this another time, but luckily most of that process went pretty smoothly for me. And when it was all said and done, I was very blessed to be able to have multiple embryos. And at that point, we got to decide how many do we put in. And, it's just crazy because most people don't get to decide if they want 1 or 2 kids, or like one at a time, 2 at a time. Not saying that just because I picked 2 embryos, I would get pregnant with 2 embryos, but it's just a weird decision to have in your hands. And I'll continue to tell the story here in a minute and how we made our decision. I just want to take a little bit of break so you guys can listen to some music. So I was just cleaning the baseboards with Dawn dish soap and hot water, and then vacuuming before cleaning the stairs or the carpet in the upstairs hallway. But anyway, so it was such a hard decision to make, and some fertility centers will actually not let you put in 2 embryos because the complications of twins and possible issues with delivery of twins. There's just a lot more problems with twins, pregnancy, post-pregnancy. So a lot of fertility centers will not even allow you to choose to put in 2, especially if you're younger, because your chances of having a successful pregnancy is much higher in the world of fertility if you're younger. And at the time I was 33, I think, so I was still considered young. However, our fertility center allowed us to make the choice. So the only tools you really have to go off to make a decision, like if you're on the fence, they do grade the embryos. They give them a letter grade and a number grade. So it's basically, though, a beauty contest. So they give the grades based on how the embryos look. So not to get too much into biology, but there are certain things the embryologist is looking at when they're looking at these embryos. So they do give them grades, and that's really the only information that we had to go off of. Well, we had 2 top grades, the best grade you can be given. They were 4 AAs. So, and really quickly, I'm doing that refrigerator cleaning hack, kind of bouncing back and forth here. And all I do is run some really, really hot water in the bathtub, a clean bathtub. This was clean. And then I take the shelves from my refrigerator, and I maybe do this every couple of months when the shelves just need a good cleaning. We were getting ready to leave for vacation, and we weren't going to have a lot of food in here for multiple days. So I wanted to give it a really good deep clean. So then when we got home, brought home new groceries, we would have a nice clean refrigerator. So I just put them in the bathtub for about 20 minutes. You can even see the stuff floating around here in less than a minute. So it does a really good job. No scrubbing. I pull them straight out. And there you have it, a nice clean refrigerator in less than a half an hour. But I'm going to continue on and organize the bathroom here on day 3, and I will continue my embryo IVF story. So real life messes over here. You know that toilet drives me crazy. We just cannot keep it clean. I've just come to the conclusion that no matter what we do, what we put in the tank, I've tried every product you guys have recommended, and this is just how it always looks. And it's not dirty in the sense of, oh, it's a gross toilet. This is what happens. Like, it'll be like this 2 days after I clean it. So anyways, I wanted to go through the drawers in here because Avery messes with these all of the time and moves things around, and she mixes her earrings with her hair ties and all of that. So I wanted to go in, clean, and reorganize. I just like to stay on top of it because we have so many clips and hair ties and earrings since Avery got her ears pierced in November. But I wanted to go in here and declutter and reorganize, and I got these organizers from Target, and I love them because they are cheap. Okay, so back to the embryo story, which is taking me forever to get through, but we had 2 AAs, 2 top graded embryos. So with that information and knowing that I had already carried a success or had a successful pregnancy, you know, Mike and I decided to go the safe route and put in 1 embryo, 1 good graded embryo. And even my doctor was pretty certain it would work. There was no reason why it shouldn't work. Everything looked great. Everything looked great on paper. Everything was going like it should. Well, I did not get pregnant. Didn't get pregnant at all. And my doctor was really stumped. She had no idea why it didn't work. So the second go around, we had some special testing done on the embryos. Our doctor highly suggested this because there was no other reason, nothing they could think of as to why the first pregnancy why I didn't get pregnant. So they highly suggested that you can go in, they test the embryos to see if all of the chromosomes are there because, you know, they had wondered, because I've had multiple miscarriages, and then with that first go around of IVF not working, if something was wrong with my own embryos. So, you know, if you can imagine, it's a pretty expensive, but at the same time, at this point, we were just like, we cannot get this far and it not work. You know, we've already spent so much money. So we had them tested, which with the testing, it's crazy because you can even find out the gender when they test for the chromosomes. Some people can even gender select, which we did not do, but there's actually a whole other story involving how we found out what we were pregnant with and all of that. But we had 8 embryos tested, and only 3 of the 8 came out with all of the chromosomes, which means, like, if they would have just been randomly selecting embryos and putting them in, I mean, there's more of a chance that it would not have worked than it would have worked, since only 3 had all of the chromosomes. So I don't know, it's crazy to go back and think of all of that and how IVF works. So, oh, and I'm using the Bissell Steam Shot hand steamer to clean around the bottom of the toilet just because we had some people over recently for the 4th of July and there were a lot of kids using this bathroom and I wanted to give it a good cleaning and let the steam disinfect, because under toilets kind of gross me out. But I will get back to the rest of the story in a minute. I don't want to get too long-winded. I want to give you guys some music, and then I will continue on. Okay, so we had 3 embryos with all of their chromosomes, which ups our chances of actually getting pregnant and then not miscarrying. And Mike was actually leaning more towards only putting in 1 embryo, because he, from the get-go, from the time we've talked about it, only wanted 2 kids. So he kept saying he was leaning towards 1. And we knew all the chromosomes are there, so that really upped our chances of it working out and being a successful pregnancy. But I just always had this nagging feeling of putting in 2. Luckily, we had some time to think about it, and we had a couple of weeks, and I remember just really being on the fence. And if you didn't know, or I said this earlier, Avery was a twin, my dad's a twin, so there's just been a part of me that has always felt that it was my destiny to have, I was meant to have twins. But I didn't discount Mike's argument at all. And of course, my doctor reminded me that the chances of having more problems with a twin pregnancy or birth is real. So I kept thinking about that. And I just asked God to speak to me and tell me what I should do. Give me a sign. Please make it clear what decision I should make. Like, it's just so hard to have this big decision in your hands. And I remember I was driving down the road and thinking about it really hard, because we were getting to the point where we had to make the decision. And I just asked God, please give me a sign. Like, I want to know. Like, there's no debating. Give me a sign. And the song Home by Philip, I think that's it, came on. And there's one verse in there where he says, settle down, it'll all be clear. Don't pay no mind to the demons, they fill you with fear. And that hit me, because you know why I was deciding not, or why I was hesitant to have twins? The sole reason was because I was afraid of being overwhelmed. I was afraid of what 3 kids would do. Would I lose my mind? I mean, everyone is always talking about how hard twins are and how crazy twins are. And I was just scared of feeling overwhelmed and not knowing if I could do it. And I felt like with this lyric, it was saying that I was leaning towards 1 out of fear. That was the only reason. And I wasn't going to let fear get in the way, and I was going to put in 2. And I should mention that Mike was totally fine with whatever decision I made. He told me he was leaning towards just 1, but he ultimately wanted me to make the decision. He's the father, but he was going to support whatever decision I made, because he was truly fine either way. But he said, you can make the decision. And so I put in 2 embryos, and here we are, which is just crazy, because the first time we only put in 1, it didn't work, and then we put in 2, and it worked. So I think we know what God meant for me, or for us to have.
Something
I had noticed that the cabinets were really dirty. There was coffee splattered on them and just normal stuff splattered all over. So I was using Dawn dish soap in really hot water. That's kind of my go-to when the cabinets are really bad. When we got our cabinets painted, they told us, because it's paint, that they told us to use a mild cleaner when cleaning them and wiping them. So I like Dawn because it's powerful. It's, a degreaser. It does a good job, but it's also gentle. So that's what I was using.
I don't need nobody else. I got you, and you got me too. You can ride all the blue. I wanna do what you want to. We can leave and run away someday, someday. I've been saving you, and you save me too. Yeah, I need it, don't you need me too? 'Cause I need you. Yeah, so call me anytime that you need a favor. Call me anytime I can come and sit in you.
I do want to add that I get asked a lot, how did we decide to put in 2 embryos? Like what made us make the decision? And I want it to be clear. I don't think that just because we put in 2 embryos, you should put in 2 embryos. I think everyone's situation is completely different. I think how many kids you already have should play into that. What your doctor recommends, that's number 1. What is your doctor recommending? Our doctor with our circumstances was leaving it totally up to us, but I think you should listen to your doctor, look at how many children you already have, what are your resources. Both Mike and I have family. Both of our parents live close by, 20 minutes. And I knew that having twins was going to be a handful, especially already having another child. But we both have our parents close by. So we have that village. We have help. We have help. We have help watching the girls, and when we need a night, we can take the girls to our parents. And Mike, for the most part, works a normal 8 to 5 job. Like, he has an 8 to 5 schedule. Sometimes he works late during, late nights during certain parts of the year. But I mean, for the most part, he is very hands-on. He's always there. And if he wasn't a hands-on dad or could not be a hands-on dad, because of his work schedule, or if he was, deployed, if we didn't have the family help, that would 100% affect my decision. So I don't think it's always just because someone does it once or someone does it that you should do it. I think there's a lot of factors that go into what you should do and how many embryos to put in. I mean, our girls were born early at 33 weeks. So, they were in the NICU, which is a whole nother story, but we were grateful to make it to 33 weeks, but it could have been much worse. So I just want to throw that disclaimer out there that I think there's a lot of factors, and I think that maybe I explained our factors, and so maybe you can, if somebody is in the same position, I think it's good to think about all of the factors, but ultimately make a decision that is best for you and your partner.
Yeah, I know I did you wrong, but I learned my lesson. Now what if we could move on? Remember the good days. I wish that we could go back. I know I'm not perfect, but at least give me a try. I'm sorry for making you feel like you're not good enough, 'cause you're the best, I'm sorry for making you feel like you're not good enough. Give me a chance, yeah baby, try.
When you're seeing this, I'm currently in Hilton Head, South Carolina with Mike. So if I'm not getting back to your comments as quickly as I should, please forgive me. I like to, you know, I appreciate this community and I take it very seriously communicating with you guys. So if I don't get back with you guys, please give me some grace, I guess. I'll try my best, but thank you for always watching and commenting.
Easily, I wanna see you be mad, yeah, get mad at me. I'm sorry for making you feel like you're not good enough, 'cause you're the best, you know. I'm sorry for making you feel like you're not good enough. Give me a chance, yeah, baby, try, 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 just one more night, then make up your mind, mind, mind. Please don't say that it's goodbye, bye, bye. If you just believe it, I know we can make it. Try, try, try. Try, try, try. Try, try, try. I'm sorry for making you feel like you're not good enough. I'm sorry for making you feel like you're not good enough.
Okay, so I have been getting a lot of comments. I mean, I would say that most people don't criticize me. Of course, I get suggestions, and I'm actually very grateful for a lot of the comments I get. If I do something wrong or I don't do something right, most of the time people have a very constructive way to let me know, which is, I'm very grateful for that. And I get a lot of comments on how I make my bed. I guess I don't make it the right way. I kind of have always had the philosophy of, here, that's better lighting. I've always kind of had the better philosophy, or I've always kind of had the philosophy that there are some things that I want to be meticulous about, some things that I want to be really, like, I want to deep clean and just get every nook and cranny and make it perfect. And there are some things I just want to get it done. Time is limited. You guys know what I'm talking about. Like, you can't be meticulous with every single thing when it comes to cleaning, unless you have unlimited time and energy. So there are just some things that I'll just, like, it's just get it done, and the bed is one of those. And I'll admit, it's probably because I guess I really don't know how to make a bed the right way. So I had a suggestion to move the pillows up, and I did that, and then I got a lot of comments and people liked that. So I was like, oh, like, it's one of those things, maybe I'm like becoming a little more self-conscious, and I'm like, maybe I should just take the time to learn how to make a bed. So I didn't really do it today, but maybe I'll watch a YouTube video on how to properly make a bed, and I can learn how to do that. You guys learn from me, I'm gonna learn from you, and maybe take the steps to properly make a bed. But then I could try it out. Maybe I'm gonna be like, nope, not for me, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do my research, so stay tuned.
I'm sorry for making you feel like you're not good enough. I'm sorry for making you feel like you're not good enough. Give me a chance, yeah, baby, try, 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 just one more night, then make up your mind, mind, mind. Please don't say that it's goodbye, bye, bye. If you just believe it, I know we can make it. Try, try, try.
You know, when I show up at the end looking like this, you know I forgot to close up the video, and I like saying goodbye to you guys. So I am finishing up editing before we leave on vacation. I'm packing as well. I feel like my mind is going a mile a minute, but totally forgot to close out the video just because this week has been crazy trying to get everything done before we leave. So I forgot because I was cleaning and then I had to be done. So I forgot to close it out and say goodbye to you guys. Thank you for sticking around. I'm glad you're here. You guys mean the world to me. Hope you enjoy that, and you can come follow me on Instagram if you want to see some pictures of our vacation. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.